Today, I'm going to talk about something which could possibly doom either your friendships or your relationships for failure. And it's something that might actually surprise you. It's something that you might not have thought about before, but this is really important. If you want to keep a nice balance between your friends, your girlfriend, your wifey, however you want to label her, listen up. When I was in relationships in my past, we would be very happy playing Minecraft together because I did long distance relationships like a pleb for quite some time. Playing our Minecraft, oh, I'm gonna put my Minecraft bed next to yours, shit like that. Make a sign. Make a nice little house, put a sign above it. Sam and girlfriend house, little picket fence along outside as well, make it real cute. Oh, I was a bitch. So, it'd be going well. We'd have our nice little Minecraft house. But then some days, we would clash. We would argue, something would go wrong. A creeper blew it up. A creeper blew up our beautiful house. Absolute nightmare. But yeah, we would argue, we would have a clash. We'd fall out about something. Not fall out, but like we would disagree. Something she did would annoy me. Something I did would annoy her. Standard relationship shit. And to be honest, I would suspect that I handled, a bit off topic, but I'd suspect I would have handled, any sort of clashes like that very poorly when I was in previous relationships, just because of how much of a nice guy and sort of pushover that I was. Very feminine in that sense. If there was any sort of argument, any sort of clash, then I would immediately fold. If she's, annoyed me and she's upset because I've called her out on it, then I would fold because I don't want to make her upset. Oh my god, I don't want her to leave me. Please don't leave me. That sort of line of thinking. I was a very big people pleaser and I had very little respect for my boundaries as a man. So she would do something that annoyed me or whatever, and then she'd be upset about it, and then I would just fold because she's upset. I don't want her to be upset. And during this time, obviously, I would also have friends, believe it or not. I would have friends. And if you're anything like me, which I suspect you are, then if something is going wrong in your life, if something is frustrating you, if something's bothering you, you usually would like to talk about it with a close friend, someone who will either understand you, give you some guidance, or just, unburden yourself a little bit. Oh, I'm going through this, and, you feel better talking about it. Now, of course, if you're having a problem in your relationship, then that's absolutely something that you can vent about. This stuff really bothers me when there's an unresolved sort of thing. This goes for everything, in relationships, friendships, family, anything. If there's something going on and it's unresolved, I can't really stop thinking about it. It drives me insane, which is why I move to resolve it very quickly. And if the person isn't interested in resolving it, I usually just fuck them off because it's too much mental fatigue and mental rent being taken in my head for no fucking reason. So I move to resolve it very quickly, but obviously there is a period of time where it's not resolved and, I'm going kind of crazy. I want to talk about it. So I would have a group of friends and, I would talk to them about what was frustrating me in a relationship, what was bothering me, something that happened, she did this or I did this and then she reacted this way and etc. Now, here's the problem with that. Let's put ourselves into the friend's perspective for a moment. Your boy has just went into a relationship, is spending less time with the lads, and now he seemingly has something negative to say about his girl every time you speak, or most times you speak, and he doesn't seemingly have much positive to say. I'm not, going to my friends, oh, we did this and it was really fun and blah 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 blah, because you seem like a bit of a simp. You typically talk about negative things which are bothering you, and when you're happy, you don't feel the need to say, oh, I'm happy, I'm happy because of this. So, your boys, they're spending less time with you because you're spending more time with a girl, and then every time you guys speak, or most times you speak, you have something negative to say about the girl. Now, you can see how that's going to look, can't you? Your friends are going to feel like, they've had their boy ripped away from them. And by the way, I don't really agree with that perspective, the whole, oh, Sam's got a girlfriend and now he's, spending less time with us, what a sim. What a fucking blah blah blah. I don't really agree with that unless you are seriously that way inclined, where you get into a relationship and you're besties and you're spending so much fucking time together. In that case, yeah, makes sense. But if you're still holding a very healthy balance between spending time with wifey and also your friends, then I think that perspective's really stupid coming from your friends. However, it doesn't matter. They're gonna have that perspective anyway because they miss the time they spend with you. They want more more time with Sam. They want more time. So it's inevitable, especially if they are friends of a lower quality. There's not really a better way to put that. Like, yeah, they're just, you know, they're sort of like video game friends or whatever. They're not like on their own shit. It's inevitable that they're going to have that perspective, that perception of you. Like, oh, you just got ripped away because he's got a new girlfriend. Cringe. And now every time you guys speak, you got something negative to say about the girl. They're gonna hate the girl. They're gonna absolutely hate your girlfriend. They're gonna think she is a fucking witch. They're gonna think that she's a fucking witch. They're gonna think very low of her. The reality is, 99% of your relationship might be amazing. It might be dandelions and rainbows. It could be phenomenal. You could be so happy. But because of their perception, and hopefully that is the case, hopefully 99% of your relationship is you adding significant value to your lives, because that's exactly what you should get from a relationship. But your boys won't see that. They're gonna think she's evil, and it's gonna be very clear that they feel that way if you were to ever meet with them and have them in the same room. The energy in that room will almost feel palpable. There will be a very weird air of like just disconnection between your girl and your friends, and it will become very clear to your girl that your friends do not like her. And then she's gonna start asking questions in her brain like, why do they not like me? How could they possibly have that perception of me? And then she's gonna think like, oh, he's been chatting mad shit about me. That's not exactly a fair assessment for her to come to. It's not really chatting shit, but you can see the problem that can arise from this exact scenario, can't you? Your friends, your boys, do not like your girl, and so now you're sort of in the middle between the two, and you're like, what the fuck should I do? You're going to have to sort of piss off one group or the other in some sense. If you stay with your girl, then your friends are going to think you're weak, you're weird, you're with a girl that you don't like, even though that, again, might not be the case. Their perceptions are warped because of the fact that you've been venting to them about all of the frustrations and not talking to them about how amazing it is at the same time. And then if you spend more time with your boys, then your girl is going to feel incredibly alienated. She's going to feel not wanted at all inside of that group. And she's going to feel like, you know, you've chose the boys over her. You're setting yourself up for a massive, 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 massive L. So, moral of the story, be very careful with who you speak to about your relationship problems, who you vent to, because you can very quickly warp their perception of your relationship or the girl that you're talking about, and they're going to end up just disliking her and thinking that, you know, she's bad for you. And who knows, maybe they're right. Maybe she is a bastard, you know, from the stuff that you've been saying. But that's not their decision to make. They're not seeing the other 99% of the relationship, right? That's your decision to make as a strong masculine man, hopefully. If you're not a strong masculine man, then yeah, you're more likely to make bad decisions. But if you're anything like me, you're very much so striving to be a strong masculine man, makes their own decisions, doesn't put up with shit, and so I trust in my own judgment. I don't care about the judgment of my friends, especially if they aren't in my very, you know, deep inner circle. If they are my brothers, you know what I mean? If they are very purposeful masculine men who I value very highly, then I might perhaps value their opinion on my relationship, because obviously there is like a blind side when you're in love. So it's very important you have those people around you, but generally most of your friends don't have a fucking clue. They don't care. They just want you back in the Weatherspoons getting lit with fucking cocktails instead of being home with your girl maybe that night and watching some Netflix or whatever the fuck you guys do. So you certainly don't want your friends and your girl to be polarized from each other when they're in the same room, because it's going to be palpable. Another thing you should be very careful about with venting is thinking about, I'm about to speak to this person about something which is deeply bothering me. It's deeply personal to me. Has this person ever gossiped to me about any of my mutual friends to me? Have they ever said, oh, you know, James actually told me a few weeks ago that she likes Elizabeth, and like, you know, how crazy is that, bro? Like, Jesus. Stuff like that. Any sort of gossip. Think about it. Have they ever gossiped to you about mutuals? If that's the case, if they have, which I know a lot of people love to gossip, if that's the case, what makes you think that they are not going to gossip about what you are about to tell them? What makes you think that? Because your boys, you're close. Like, no. If you're a gossip, right, you're a fucking gossip. Doesn't really matter how close you are to someone, you're gonna fucking gossip, you're gonna talk. One of the least masculine things you can do, in my opinion, is gossip. So don't do it. Don't gossip. Don't hang around people who gossip. And certainly do not confide your personal information and vent to a gossip. That's a horrible idea. Because guess what? They're gonna yap away to your mutual friends about what you've told them. And then that's going to warp the perception that your mutual friends have of you and whatever else you've vented about to them. It's gonna warp their perception, and that's not fair because they're not getting the full picture. They're just getting the little fucking weirdo gossiping in their ear. So you can see there's a lot of problems that can arise from actually venting to the wrong people. So the message of this video is be very careful about who you vent to and how often you vent to them. And be very wary of the fact that their perception of you will be changing as you vent to them. And their perception of the person you are venting about might change as well. I hope this video was helpful. I hope it was insightful. I hope it was inspiring. And if you're not already, join the Discord. I'm going to be live streaming on YouTube very soon. I'm getting it all set up. I'm very excited. So if you want to know when I'm going live, the best place to do it is my Discord. Follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care, guys.